overcome. What started happening is as you get bigger, as you get more successful, you open the door for people to critique every fucking thing you do. And most of the people who are critiquing you, people who are on the upper level, hearing the haters at the lower level, like I said, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. True statement. I started having fun with them. One of my best parts is I'm open-minded to the right people, but I don't respect the right people. Because how am I going to respect you, not you personally, but anybody, if you're not fucking grinding every day? And I don't mean working out, getting to the gym. Really going out there and grinding. So if you don't know how I'm living my life, how am I going to respect you? So you have to be a hard worker, period, dot. You got to work your fucking ass off. That's why I get respect from you. There is no get out of jail free card. And I know people cannot stand it. They can't stand it. This is all you can do. There's no magic pill or a magic potion. All you can do is out and work the man that God created, or woman. Getting after it. We look at determination, self-discipline. We look at hard work. All these terms, it's almost like we dread them. It was like a fucking punishment. Those are the biggest words of all time as far as respecting yourself. So I'm looking at dread and punishment. Look at those words as a lifestyle. Stay hard. God gives you a shovel. He says, man, start digging. That's not fun. But when you dig your own path to all kind of stuff that's unknown. And that's why I started realizing, man, like on the other end of this is some beautiful stuff. So I got outside my box and like, man, 300 pounds, now look at me, I'm 185 pounds. And on the other side of the box was all this stuff. Now I know it's over there until I climbed the wall and saw it.
So what wall are you climbing now?
Man, right now I climbed a lot of walls. There's no more walls anymore. The reason why is because I know how to climb. Yeah. Better yourself every day. Suffer. I come from hell. And a lot of it I created to be a lot worse than what it was. It was bad, but I made it out to be, insurmountable. So, yeah, we can be our worst enemy. People love to bitch and complain about everything. So when you're sitting there, you may spend weeks, months, years bitching about the same thing. So what have you done? Nothing. You have to have the truth to have a starting point. So when you, like, if I'm lying to you about who I am, or I'm lying to you about whatever, there's no starting point. There's a false reality. You have to create the real reality. So that's what I call my accountability. So I have no starting point. Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. All right, I'm not real smart. I have no courage. I have no self-esteem. I have no nothing. Nothing. That's my starting point. Now we can move from there. But if I tell myself I'm strong, I have courage, I'm smart, and all these are lies, you continuously push that starting point backwards. So that starting point is the truth. The no bullshit truth that only you can tell yourself. So it's the starting point. The truth is the starting point. The only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful, as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I did. It's easy for me to sit back and say, you know what? Poop and pants mentality. I want to sit back and let the world take care of me now. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't play sick too long. While my childhood was so messed up, I played sick way too long, and I almost lost tons of opportunities by playing sick. Because if it was good to play sick, my dad beat the shit out of me, man. I couldn't read. I can't read. When I was a junior in high school, I couldn't read. If you lived that life, it feels good for people that, oh, man, that's just David, man. He's just not real smart. He had a bad life. You get a get out of jail free card. That's nice. It sucks doing what I had to do to get here today. That was not fun. That darkness is not, there's nothing that dark to drive me to the place I had to go to become successful. On the flip side of that, if you come from a silver spoon family, you have to realize that. You have to realize, fuck, there's people out there like David Goggins. Yeah. Nothing. Nothing. And I've had all this opportunity in front of me, and I'm a loser. I'm not shit. So what does that say about me? The conversations are very similar. You have all this opportunity, and you've gone nowhere with it. I'm at the bottom of the barrel, and it can take me a lot longer just to get where you're at for the starting line, to be fair. Are you accountable for what you're doing? Are you accountable, I mean to the T, for what you're saying? I am. And that's where it started. It started with total accountability of, let's not lie today. Let's tell the truth about who you are. And when you can get on and tell someone, like I'm doing right now, exactly how you are, that's the goal in life. To put your life on a billboard, on the busiest road, in the busiest highway in the world, and say, this is how I used to be. Take it or leave it. Who I am and who I say I am. No more lies. No more spiritual truth. No more bullshit. And that is worth every dime I've ever made in my life. I ain't invented the motherfucker. I actually sat back when I was fat, nasty, out of shape, miserable, and created a human being in my mind that didn't even exist. And said, that's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that's capable of doing exactly what I'm doing today. And you have to, if you are born that guy, that mentally strong guy, he can be made. Woman, man, whatever the hell you are. It can be made. But in making that person, you have to be able to turn down good deals. You have to be who you are every day of your life, and never care about anybody who gets in your way that says you're not doing something the proper way. I was always afraid of people not wanting to. Like, when you get beat as bad as I did, I lied all the time. I wanted to be accepted and loved and all that shit that I created about 50 people. Whatever you like, I like. Just if you would be my friend, just be my friend. And that's where we get lost in life. We all have two people. We all have two people. Now, I'm not saying you're crazy. We have the easy voice, which is that 20% telling yourself that I'm easy at 90% of my full potential, maybe 100% at that 20%. That's that voice that we all love. That's that very comfortable voice. That's that mommy holding you saying it's going to be okay. Doesn't care how good you are, just loves you. Is a voice saying, hey man, you ain't doing shit. So we try to get this voice out of our head completely. And we live over here in this lane. So what you have to do first is turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that aren't nice. That it's in our head. Say, you know what, man? Dude, you're not doing shit. You're not amount. I mean, and it's not putting yourself down. People take this the wrong way in this new society. I'm not saying to put yourself down. I'm saying you're wasting a bunch of percentage here. We have 80 more percent that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, self-doubt, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this shit. So a lot of us know that. Now, you know exactly how to do it. You know exactly. It's not a magic trick. There's nothing I talk about in that book that's a magic trick. It's all back down to a very primitive mindset of we just have to do. It's like breathing. Breathing becomes normal. Like, we didn't know that we're doing it. That's how you have to live your life. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical, I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go is going to be, There's gonna be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are going to do. And that's your new norm. That's your new norm. So then it's like breathing. And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. So if you really want it, you realize what trying is and what trying is not. As long as alone, alone. I ain't got nobody. That's where the shit comes from. I ain't got nobody to push this level. That's my darkness. That's why I laugh at these motherfuckers think they fucking know me. You think you know me coming to my dungeon? It's a lonely dungeon because you don't want to do shit every day. Training this hard by yourself? Come on, man. And this is, you see me breathing heavy? Exactly. So imagine the little light over to that. I was alone on this earth. I have God off on this earth, and I have to fix everything. You can achieve shit.
Make sure y'all keep off as much lights as possible.
You start motivating yourself. Try to get yourself a little bit. Sometimes your motivation needs to be because no one else wants. This message I do is not for fucking everybody. So I don't want to see that soft bullshit about, do you have sunscreen on?
Yeah, make sure y'all turn off the lights when you're not.
You're never fucking arrive. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never fucking arrive. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. Period. No one knows the real truth about me. How hard I really go. I don't care anymore. I don't want anybody.
There's a lot of snow in the
I'm an introvert. I live an introverted life. And I love that about me. That right there is my team. I didn't have a motherfucker come wake me up at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning and say, hey, you gotta keep shit in. I had no trainer. I didn't have a nutritionist. It was the self-discipline that I had to survive. To not survive, to thrive. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain. And your brain is talking to you in all kind of ways. And it wants to control you, pull you in these big pockets. If you can't control your own brain, and your brain controls you, you're fucked. You gotta tell your brain where you wanna go, how you wanna go, and how you wanna get there. You gotta control it. If not, it's over. You have to live in your own fucking world. You cannot judge yourself. That's why social media and all these things are horrible. You can't judge yourself off the so-called competition that we have made up in our minds. The things that, how people look, how people act, how smart someone is. This is a race that you run completely alone. And you're all by yourself. Life created this person, me. Life created me to be this fucked up person I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit, though. So a lot of this isn't your fault. Why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. Eventually, you act on it. As you all know, it's a hot motherfucker. Nice heat wave. Mother Nature's a pitbucker in the world. Your dehydration? Fuck it. Lick your motherfucking lips. Your fucking legs are all sore. You got shins, place of stress fractures. No, you don't. You got sore fucking legs. Get out of your head and stay hard. Who on this fucking earth would still be going right now? You are. You are. You gotta be the hardest motherfucker on the planet. Is it true? I don't give a fuck. I hear no whistle blow in my life. So I keep on playing. Looking for every opportunity I can. Be different. Hey, I'm not crazy. I'm just not you. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. The brain is starting to get hard. The brain is starting to get hard. I'm no longer the theory. I'm now a practitioner. I put it in hell. I dissected it while it's in hell. Because you can't dissect anything in a normal environment. You can't dissect anything in 72-degree weather. You must put it in the fucking freezer and freeze the fuck out of it. And then you dissect it. Dissect it when it's miserable. Dissect the brain when all it's thinking about is, I need to get out of here, man. I want to get out of the fucking freezer. Open the door. And he said, nah, 5 more seconds, man. 5 more seconds in the freezer. And that's when you start to pick that brain apart. And that's when all this stuff hit me. I kept on putting myself back into the freezer or the fire and beating the shit out of myself. You are your own hero. You are your own leader. You are your own man. And that is a big one because we idolize so many people and we want to be them. You want to be someone else. You become them and you lose you. A lot of these motivational people come out here and give you motivational words. They fire you up, right? What should fire you up is to see in my fucking ass by myself doing what I preach about. It ain't nobody watching. You guys just happen to see me. Yeah. That makes sense? It's about doing, my friend. It ain't about talking. If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody. Because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. That's true. It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? If you want to push harder, know this. Your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself. You live uncomfortable to gain growth. You have to have friction in your life to gain growth. You're going to have to suffer, man. This 0.25, man, this journey is going to take something that is going to be incomprehensible to most people. And these different visualizations, how I visualize them in my self-talk, it became so nasty and dirty that I almost liked the fact that I went 0.25. So it became from being defeated to like, man, all right, maybe Marvin go 0.75. It just became this different mindset. I turned negatives into positive. We have the balls. We have the balls to man up.
Make sure y'all don't start any light in the house.
Go
Be very careful
on
on
yourself.
that porch.
So it's how I started talking to myself and put myself in a whole different category. And that would fuel
Use the handrail and all that stuff. Y'all take your time.
And fuel.
Like I'm walking like this.
No one do this shit. You basketball. When I did basketball,
very slowly.
and I just kept fueling it with the right kind of message that I needed to hear that I was never telling myself. And through time, it became reality to myself. A lot of us don't know of a whole other world that exists. It's on the other side of suffering. Once you break these barriers that you have made for yourself, like the mind is the most powerful thing in the world. It is so amazing that I used to be a 300-pound guy, and I thought that was it. Could barely read, could do anything. And now, what was inside that person was this guy that's in front of you today. That's the real growth of life, because you realize how the mind processes shit. And I talk about another thing called theory and practice. A lot of people are theorists. These smart guys that read these books and shit, man, they sit down and they tell you what the mind is supposed to do. And a lot of us listen to that shit. By being a practitioner, I went out and realized a lot of these guys are so wrong, man. The mind has capabilities that are so unknown, and I found that through suffering. And there's a whole other world on the other end of that. I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. I was basically, I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, and be called whatever in the world, and be able to stand up and say, go for yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. I built it through downright just crushing myself. If it was raining outside 3 o'clock in the morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta go out there. Anything that was horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was made to most people, I had to go do it. And I started callousing my mind at this point in my life. And I lost the weight. I taught myself everything, my whole life. I'm not a theorist, people. There's a bunch of people who are theorists who go to the library and study the mind. They study it in a book. I studied it by being a practitioner. I put my mind in hell. And I realized how it was thinking. And I figured out tools and tactics on how to get through it. By being in it, not by studying it, by being in it. And literally, that's how I started callousing over. I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months, and it calloused my hands. It calloused my hands real good to protect my hands against the bar. I started learning how to callous my mind and callous over my victim's mentality.
And that's what I did.
One thing important is that we all have these moments in time that either make you or break you, that can determine the rest of your life. The rest of your life can be determined by one simple decision. 19 years ago, 300 pounds, I was spraying for cockroaches. I made a decision to try to be a Navy SEAL. My whole goal was to go on this path every day after work and to run a mile to a mile and a half. This rock was about the 0.5 mark in my run. This rock moment that should have broken it. I got 0.5 into it. I weighed 297 pounds. I fell on this rock and I had a decision to make. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. There wasn't some inspiration quote. There wasn't nothing. It was me, myself, and it was freezing out here. I had to make a decision. The decision I made was get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life. Through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition, the same thing that you don't want to do. That's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. You start to armor your mind. Your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. That's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And I was 297 pounds, and I was fat as hell trying to be a Navy.
Make sure y'all take your shoes off. Wipe them off real good. Don't be tracking mud and dirt and all that over the house.
The rest of my life. I thought then I was trying hard.
And wipe them off outside, on the outside road.
297 pounds, working for Eco Lab, spraying for cockroaches, making $1,000 a month. I thought that was me at my 100% potential. Come to find out, a few years later, I wasn't anywhere near that. 106 pounds less, graduate Navy SEAL training, went on to do all these other things. Looking back on that, that was me trying hard. That's why people gotta understand what is in us. We have no idea until we start trying hard. And I mean really trying hard when you're obsessed with, hey, this is my new norm. My new norm is that, wow, this isn't always fun. It's not always meant to be fun. And that's when you know you're trying hard. I have this haunting voice in the back of my head. A lot of us have it. We just ignore it. And it was there for years. So I knew in the back of my mind that I could pull off this whatever. But I was afraid of the work. Because I wasn't gifted with brains. I wasn't gifted with God-given talent as far as like athleticism. So I knew to get to where I had to go, to be in the same playing field as these men, to even try out for this program, I knew the work to be something that I didn't want to even attack. So I just put it off. But yet you did it. Because it haunted me. The voice in my head said, you know what, man? You're going to die never even trying to reach your full potential. And how's that going to feel? So you have to be a hard worker before you die. You got to work. Yes. Because every day, I wake up, I'm up, and there's my shoes, my shorts, depending on the weather. And some days I wake up.
You're gonna have to leave these lights off, babe. Out the house.
And I still get the mother for hours. And then I start walking around the fence. And I said, I didn't run today. I'm not doing shit today. Nothing. I don't have to. They did all that shit. I don't need all this shit. All this hell weeks. Got my ass kicked all the time. And later. I'm not doing this shit anymore. That's what I think. I got 2.3 million followers on Instagram. It's ain't about you. It's ain't about your Ranger schools and getting B as a kid and shit. You have an obligation, not to yourself. It's videoing me and shit. I am a virtual trainer mentally. Because there's a lot of people out there saying, man, David Goggins. And if I wake up one morning and don't do that, I go back to that David Goggins who lied about being who he wanted to be. So my thing that keeps me going every day is my mission in life. Wow, I did not choose it. I'm an introvert, and I'm doing what we're doing even right now. Is to always stay I've done that too many times in my life. So that's what keeps me going, bro. Go back to a spot that's not so fucking comfortable for you. What did you do today to get uncomfortable? What did you do today to earn that manhood? I wasn't born this motherfucker. I made him. At the bottom of insecurities, fear, self-doubt, lies, was me buried in a fucking fetal position. How I got out of that was recognizing, being honest with it, being truthful with it, and then fixing it. We like to live on social media with lies about ourselves, how great we are. Get to the source and fix the problem. What is making you a quitter? What is making you a weak man? What is making you afraid? And so that's why I kept on quitting and going back to start or not knowing how to get through hard times. And that's why I was telling people, I'm not a theorist. I didn't study, I didn't study a fucking book. I literally put myself in a fire repeatedly like a sword. You put a sword in a fire repeatedly. If you keep on doing that, you're going to get a nice sword. A lot of people say that nothing's impossible. Shit, I even said that nothing's impossible several times in my life. I lied. There's a lot of things that are impossible for you to do. But what happens is, when we come across something that's very hard, and we try it once, maybe twice, you're going to say, we're done, can't do it anymore. Before you say something's impossible, do it and do it and do it to a level that people think that you might be fucking crazy until you say it's impossible. Go out there and run a couple minutes a day, bike, do some exercises, just get in shape. Through discipline, keep on sitting around wondering what the fuck you want to do. Just run out of time. So make sure you do one thing. Stop following the fucking crowd. That may take time off, but you can't afford to. Stay hard. I was that guy who grinded. I grinded hard. I grinded hard. I was that guy who was if we went on an op or we had a workup, let's say we had a workup, we're at 9, we're out there shooting guns and doing man warfare. And we did it till 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. Want everybody to go to sleep, motherfucker that got every kid. Am I that? I don't care. I believe it. Now I'm trying to tell them, once you become obsessed with something, it's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't be all this stuff people say. You gotta be balanced. To be the best in the world at what you do. It's not about being a Navy SEAL, people. The best at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of fucking energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great. People don't know how to turn their minds on. People don't know about these votes and laws, why I say it, why I start yelling. I'm trying to activate something. I'm trying to activate passion, want, hunger, the dog, the savage. That motherfucker's falling asleep. When I show up knowing I'm in great shape, I can wake that savage beast up. You gotta learn yourself, know how to wake yourself up. But if you don't show up in the best shape of your life, your mind is worthless to you, so your savage is fucking dead. Why do you stop? It's because you're lazy. It's because you don't mind getting bad grades in school. It doesn't bother you enough to be mediocre. To sit around and watch people do great things. Find it. So there's your answer. Your answer is you don't care enough about yourself, so you don't stay in the fight. A lot of us who are negative people, all we do is project how we feel on other people. So what happens is there's a lot of negative people walking on the planet Earth who are afraid to try. Because a lot of people are very negative in this world. So we are afraid to fail. Why? I told you, man. You need to try it, dude. Just chill out, relax. Why are you so crazy? Why are you so obsessed? So all that stuff drives the quitting mind. The mind wants to quit. The mind's tired. How you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face. If you constantly run away from things that you don't want to face, their growth. I'll tell you right now, the more things you can do, get outside that zone. That zone is that zone that makes you feel good. The stronger your mind's gonna get. It starts getting used to doing shit like this. It's not fun. My mind's used to it. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. Hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on a daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day. Self-discipline is everything. And if you don't have it, I'll look at you right now. I know you're capable of more. It's not discipline so much for me. It's all on you. It's all on you. The self part is what's big. We need someone to hold people accountable. Fuck that shit, man. I know why you hate me. You hate me because you're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. So I make you question everything about yourself. So I'm going to continue to make these questions by coming out here and being even more successful. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fucking fail. I'm going to fucking fail. I'm going to fucking fail. And I will succeed. I don't give a fuck. I'm a warrior. Period. There's a lot of guys who've been in a lot more combat than me. A warrior is not always that. A warrior is a motherfucker who says, hey, I'm here again today. Figure out your equation in life. Once you figure that out, man, you can do anything. And if you can build that self, you can build that total accountability in oneself. And it's not about being selfish. I'm trying to create a better me. So hopefully people who are hearing this are taking it the right way and can say, I can run a mile. It ain't about running 205 fucking miles, doing 4,000 beats. It ain't about all that shit. Shit doesn't matter. I want you to see how fucking far you can go. And that's all it's about, yourself. We can't quit. You gotta figure out why you are this pussy. Why are you this pussy, man? What is wrong with you? What's going on here? Our minds are very similar to circuit breakers. When they blow, you gotta figure out what it is. Sometimes you just add too much to your fucking plate. Go back in your mind and figure it out. Get up. You don't want to go run? You go run. You don't want to go swim? You go swim. You don't want to make your bed? You make your bed. You don't want to clean your house? You clean your house. You go run? Wake up at 4 o'clock and it's gonna suck. It's not gonna be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow. Embrace the suck. One thing you like, sure. Don't let you care more than yourself. If you're out here looking for someone to help you out, and you ain't helping yourself out, you'll never make it. We're helping you out. Now it's back. I got my mind. I want to know the motherfucker wants the hard time. Fat guy, press guy. Keep this in your head. In my corner, there's only a cup man and water.
And I'm built for what's next.
Appreciate you. Of course. Have a good night. Drive safe.
At Cellular Sales, our service doesn't end with the sale. As your
There ain't no fucking cow. So shit gets hard for me. I can't throw that fucker in. I never found peace until I got real sick. And you find peace by clarity. And there's no clarity when there's noise. There's always a schedule in front of you to keep grinding at it. So my schedule's always there. I'm still alive. And when I'm still alive, I'm going to grind until I'm dead. But in that grinding schedule, you have to have a point in there where it's okay, at 12 o'clock, let's go vantage and look and see where you're at. At this new vantage point, stop for a second and survey the field. Most days in life when I wake up, I'm motivated, hungry, and driven. I have a commitment to myself, the best version of myself. What most of us are looking for is this special fucking feeling of, oh, I feel great this morning. I'm gonna get out of bed and get a quick 5 miles and go to the gym. If you get up, you're not good enough. You gotta work harder. You have a good enough time. It's that voice you want to run away from. It's that voice you don't want to hear. And guess what? It's that voice you need to listen to. Stay hard. waiting for the whisper. If you're willing to suffer and suffer, go back in the grind, that internal dialogue you have with yourself when you're in misery and you're uncomfortable, it's a real, scary, unfiltered, no-lying dialogue between you and yourself. And people know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're in a bad spot in life and your mind is saying all kind of shit, that's who you really are. That's the real you. That's where the growth happens. When you're able to stay in that moment and talk to yourself back into the suck of whatever you're going through, and you start stripping those layers away, but as you're stripping those layers away, you're building calluses over top of shit in your mind. That's when the growth starts to happen. Is when you have to force yourself. What happens is it takes about a good 10 years of people telling you and you experiencing how life is. The highs and the lows of life. I can pack that mother in 80 some hours, and I can get, so the knowledge comes from the experience, not the race. It's not about the race. So like I said, like my life, if I were to take the first 10 years, from 20 to 30, I learned a lot. All I've done with these races is I condensed 10 years into 80 some hours. That makes sense? Yeah. Are you sure it makes sense? Yeah. The highs and lows you experience in a race like this, man, it gives you a lifetime knowledge themselves. And the answers they get on the other side of this journey, they can only get by doing some shit like this. Suffering, my friend, suffering makes you a very knowledgeable person. Suffering, if you know how to do it without making it out to be like, I'm not talking about you have to go through cancer. I guarantee one thing, man, I bet you a better mother. Mentally, if you look at it the right way, everything I went through in my life, every bad thing I went through in my life, the 2 heart surgeries, there's so much power in this thing. If you look at life as it is a trial ground, a testing ground for where you need to belong, where you need to go. Suffering is a fact of life. If you look at suffering the right way, it is a great tool to callous your mind. If you look at it as suffering, woe is me, this is bullshit, God, kicking rocks. If you look at it like, okay, testing it now. I get it. Whenever I'm depressed, I get depressed, oh, hang on. I'm getting tested. So you have to be aware of all the signals and signs that are being given to you from the world. One of them is if you feel bad, you're being tested. How are you going to perform under that? And that's suffering from life. All this came from here. It came from me putting myself on the hot seat. And then saying, okay, wow. Okay, 297, this is where my mind was at. To get to 187, this is where my mind went to go through 3 helmets, to run towards the 5 miles, to do 4,030 pull-ups. And I'm a natural born fat guy. Even though I was born 175, I gained 125 pounds, I was lazy, that's who I am. I'm a guy that likes to sit back, watch TV, and eat pizza. Like everybody. So that's the mama voice. And for a guy that's never had that, like me, I love my mom, but she was working. All I crave is that mama voice. Please, love David. Love David. That voice got me to 297 pounds. Whatever I wanted, I did. And that's where I started seeing myself get further and further away from my true self. And your true self is found, honestly, in that very uncomfortable zone.
Everybody was Groundhog Day again for David Yarkins. If you pan down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. And there's not a car, a little person inside. You pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car, a person inside. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places. But right now, this morning, I'm getting it from there's not a mother that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. And it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on a daggone calorie. You get better by coming out here, getting them after every daggone day.
And all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished. That's all I heard back in those days. You gotta work hard. You gotta work hard. I'm not getting how. I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read again. Still not getting it. Read again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Okay, well, I can't. I gotta write out everything I do. And then write it out again. And write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it. I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. Can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realize it. I keep going back and going back and going back until the shit just becomes, your mind will say, okay, we're going to figure it out. We'll find a way. Because he is not going to stop. It's not like, I'm going to try one more time. No. It's just like, 1 o'clock goes off, whoop, I'm going back. I can't read right, I'm going back. I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. It's okay, we're going to adapt and overcome now.
There always had to be a new norm. So one thing we don't do is we don't have a new norm. My new norm is you get up every morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. Then I started realizing if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore.
When I was in the Navy SEAL training, people go, how are you there for 18 months? The program was only 6 months long. You were in 3 helmets in 1 year. No one's ever done that. How did you do that? I talk about the new norm. When I lived in a $7 a month place and moved to a $236 a month place, I'm like, shit, I never want to go back to that little piece of shit. But if you go back to that $7 a month place, and you realize this is where I live, this is all I got. Your mind says, Roger that, this is home. So when I was going to Navy SEAL training for 18 months, and going back to all the hard parts over and over again, I told myself after the first time, I knew it was going to be a long journey there. My body was breaking down. It was just how it was going on. I said, you know what, this is my new norm. So my mind said, it's like going to work. Like you go to work, you see me tie on, I go into suffering every day. Every day, suffering, being broken, duct taping my feet up, stress fractures, shin splints, being broken. This is my new norm. And your mind says, if we're not broken, this ain't normal. You gotta be broken. So then your mind starts to get tougher and tougher and more callous. How'd you run on broken feet? Broken shins. My mind knew this is how we operate. We're in Navy SEAL training. This is who we are. I became hell. And that became my new norm. I gave myself no way out. There was nothing outside these walls of hell. Nothing. I love God, but for a short period of time, I became the devil because that was hell. I became the boss, the owner. See, you become that. You become that. And you give yourself no way out. I went through training, 100-mile race, 20-mile race, programs, all on the line, including Navy SEAL training, Ranger School. Everything I did in the military, I was. But I didn't sit back and say, hey man, so no one knew. I realized how the brain works. I figured out how the brain works. I'm a scared kid, and that's what gives me so much power. I had no foundation, and I built this off of just researching the mind. The feeling you get is basically do it. I know I can go to a place that I can live in, and when you know you can run on broken legs, and you can do certain things that a lot of people can do, but they're not willing to do. This power, this sympathetic nervous system of fight. And these guys, most of them are healthy, and you're going through it broken, and you're already at a disadvantage, but you're still there. You can feed into that and tap into that for a lot of power. But if you look at it, well, I'm broken, man. Like, I'm not going to make it. But he looked at it as I'm broken and I'm still here. And I'm fighting. I'm gonna find a way to get through this. Because I have no other place to go. It gives you a lot of power.
Look at that feeling. Let me tell you one thing, it ain't gonna come. You have to learn to do when you don't want it to. Learn to bring that savage mentality out of yourself. The animalistic motherfucker. You think a savage gives a fuck about how he feels or how she feels?
I start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And when I get done with that run or that study session, and when I'm good enough, I gotta go back again. Because repetition is what taught me everything. So you can honestly outwork anything.
Your life, there's a lot of things we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be our fucking best. We're supposed to get early. We're supposed to work out. We're supposed to be uncomfortable. We're supposed to do all these fucking things that people are now looking for a fucking coming back. Life isn't fair. You have to understand that. It shouldn't be fair. It's a trial ground, testing ground. It's built to make us harder. It's built to make us as strong as we can, to test us, to drive us. So, mentality is the only thing that gets us through life. I was an underdog. We are all underdogs in life. Even the baddest person in the world should think that way. She should always have I've never arrived mentality. And the can't hurt me mentality is no matter where you come from, the sewer or wherever you think you're from. When I got out of the sewer, I got to the road and looked around and said, can't hurt me.
Literally, you can't. And they're here. And then as you have a serious conversation, an enlightening conversation, they then come out of nowhere and say, hey, did you hear about Trump? You're like, there has to be something so deep in you that drives you. So what really does it for me is I know what we're capable of. And I know that most human beings aren't willing to go where I am. And that's a very, very dangerous thing. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. Everybody has talent. Sure. It's not talent. It's just realizing that we stop way short of our true potential. So through my life, I realized these things.
Your best work has to come from the least motivated. Where does that come from? It comes from basically, I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. But no one taught me this stuff. We're like, I paid a trainer to come train me. Jenny Craig to come down and miracle my ass. None of this happened. It was on me. And that's the thing you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a badass hurts. Your mind isn't ready. Trying to be a pararescue. I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, swimming. I was doing all this shit, knocking out the park. One of the best in the class. But the second the fucking obstacle got in my fucking way, I wasn't prepared for it mentally. I was a beast. All I was doing was I was training a bigger, stronger, faster quitter. You gotta train your fucking mind for all obstacles that might get in your way.
When I go out to run, I get all my ideas. All my ideas come from the blood pressure and the intensity is high. Yeah. Because that puts me back in the dungeon. Yeah. I remember when I was 300 pounds, my most inspirational time is when I was 300 pounds. And I was trying to lose weight. And I was having all these self-talks, trying to find strength all over my brain. How the fuck am I going to do this? So you start to have these different mantras. Like almost every 3 or 4 seconds, a different mantra comes up. And just there's a lot of power in that from being that underdog mentality. I had tons of sticky notes all over my mirror. It wasn't like be better than John or be as fast as whoever. Okay, David, yesterday you did this. Today, our next goal for the week is this. So I had a year goal, weekly goals, daily goals, hourly goals, and the big goals, I lied a lot growing up. I wanted to be accepted. One goal was, let's go one day without lying. A champion, I have to find what I have to give it. And that mentality that truly separates the champions from the motherfuckers who are just good. Sometimes people try to motivate themselves. When times get bad, get hard and shit. Talk about 5 years of limits. a dark moment and life's fucked up around me, like physical or just life, I get in it, man, with the fucking pen and paper. I'm like, okay, this fucking sucks. I can feel like I'm fucking losing my shit. Let's fucking study this. Let's come out of this motherfucker genius. I'm gonna die trying. I don't give a fuck what it does to me. I don't give a fuck if I break myself off. I don't care if I lose legs. I don't care if I have stress. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much pain I'm going through. I don't care if this reflection in the mirror will change or I will die trying. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything. What were you doing for the last 65 hours? I know what I was doing. I was running all up and down the fucking mountains. Getting it in. Doing what I preach about. Stay hard. I'm not gifted. I'm just driven. Live your life with character, honor, and discipline. A lot of you aren't proud of who you are. You don't like the person you created. Do what I did. Start from scratch. Create somebody that you're proud of. You have to struggle. You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. The bigger the suffering, the more peace. A lot of folks take the 4-lane highway to get their results. The 4-lane highway is just that. It's the easy route. On that highway, they have road signs. 5 miles up, hotel. 10 miles up, restaurant. Restrooms, all that shit. It's an easy roadmap to success. Nothing there's permanent. But the other choice that makes permanent is the shovel. That fucking shovel leaves you with calluses on your brain, on your hands. They're permanent. Pick up the shovel. I was trying to dress up a turd. And when you're still a turd. It's like a turkey. Get a turkey for Thanksgiving. If you don't know what you're doing, you cook that motherfucker without going inside and cleaning it out. You gotta clean the insides out before you start dressing it up. Same thing with life. If you don't get inside your soul, inside your heart, and fix it, you want to go to war with yourself. I'm in search for a feeling. I'm not in search for a trophy. I'm not in search for love. I'm not in search for more followers on Instagram or social media. When I started this journey years ago, and I realized that I'm going to be somebody, and I'm searching for a feeling of true victory for myself, and only myself. The second I shut out the whole world and realized that one thing, that I am in this world alone. I'm fighting this race by myself. Most of us live our entire lives avoiding failure. I failed the ASVAB test to get in the military 3 times. In the Air Force, started pararescue. In the SEALs, it took me 3 times to get through Navy SEAL training. The pull-up record took me 3 times. This is what I know about me. So what I'm saying is, stay the fight. Ugh.